Alrighty, hey guys, this is the Saigami Project, and my name is Andrea Vörös, aka Sunny, creator of the manga series Saigami, published and serialized in Saturday AM, the bi-weekly digital manga anthology. And as you can see, this live stream is gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna be working traditionally on this manga page, maybe some others, because I kinda have a lot to ink before my deadline this weekend. So there's a lot to do, and as usual I will be answering your questions or discussing topics with you. So yeah, this will be your usual live stream, I guess. Not so usual because so far I was always doing digital artworks, because you know my setup is better for that, and I figured I'm gonna give a try to traditional live streaming. And I'm really behind schedule, so I don't really have the choice, so I just have to work on these pages. So yeah, I'm gonna combine my duty with the fun. And let's see. Alrighty, I can already see some of you are here. X Anime Fan X. I'm working in manga called Evolution Classroom, but I need more characters. I'll work on your characters then, and good luck. Hi Yumiko says hi. Hi, nice to see you here again. It's always good to have the familiar faces. John Mendoza writes, hi Andrea, how are you? I'm good. I'm a little bit tired because I've been traveling all day and did some more work. I finished my shift in the morning, so I didn't get too much sleep, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best here. Maybe I'll try to hold up without a little dose of caffeine, because that's what I usually do, but not today. Okay, so a few words before I start working on this. This is an A4 size D-liter manga paper. That's what I usually use to draw my manga pages on, because it's kind of convenient. It works really nicely with the dip pens because the paper surface is really smooth, so I enjoy it. And you know, it has those printed lines. I'm not sure if that shows up on the video. I'm gonna try and show it in the camera, but yeah, what I'm seeing is delayed, so I have no idea if you can see it. But yeah, the paper has scales around it and some marks that can help you divide up the page into panels. Of course, I'm using it a little differently because this is, I guess it's the standard scaling for the Japanese manga publication, which is usually published in B5 size. But at Saturday AM, our books are different compared to the Japanese versions. Our volumes are slightly bigger. For example, let me show you. So I'm not sure. So this is a traditional B5 size for Japanese manga, and this is our Tanks at Saturday AM. This is Saigami Volume 1. So as you can see, our books are bigger, and yeah, that I figured that requires a slightly different scaling. So yeah, that's why I use my own measurements here as well. But nevertheless, these scales are pretty useful. So what I'm gonna be using is a combination of dip pens, like the traditional G pen, and fine liners. Yes, I don't need this now, so I'm gonna put the pen for the drawing tablet away. Yeah, I mostly will be using Sakura Micron pens or whatever I have at my hand. I have some touch liners. It's pretty much the same basically, so doesn't make too much of a difference. I probably use some more mechanical pens here to make a bit more changes. I have one with blue lead, I have one with your usual soft graphic lead. I have this one. This is my favorite mechanical pen. It's pretty neat because you can press it here and it will load the lead, and that's super convenient. And yeah, I might use this one too. It's a Pentel brush pen for inking. I don't think I will use it on this page because it doesn't really require any sort of effect. I will draw with this pen, but you know, I have it. And I have this very old ruler here with me. It's probably older than some of you, so so yeah, that's what I'm gonna use in the first place, and then I might use some more tools. You can never know. I usually come up with things as I go. Alrighty, so let's check the comments before I start thinking. Katalin Batyurka. I'm not sure if I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. I usually do that. I'm trying my best with the names. But Katalin writes, finally see it from the start. Yay! Yay! I'm happy to have you here from the start. Let's see. Swaggy Maurice. How do you draw bodies? Usually I draw first with faint blue lines, and then you know, just the basic shape of the body, and then I work out the details with the mechanical pencil. Of course, you know, it requires a lot of practice. Sometimes I need to use references. For example, let me check here. So I'm not sure if you can see this pose here in the corner. For this, I used this guy here. So I have these figures that can help you with anatomy, set the pose. So I use this figure to have the right angle with the arm. So yeah, this is pretty useful. If you're having trouble drawing bodies, I can recommend these figures. So yeah, they can be pretty useful. Of course, mine is broken, like the wrist here broke, so I can't switch the arm and then can't twist the wrist, so it's not perfect, but luckily I already do have quite the amount of experience that it doesn't really mean a problem for me. So yeah. Ricardo Duron, hello! Hello, nice to see you here. Familiar faces and names. Mostly names, because yeah, I don't really know your faces, but mostly your avatars, but those keep changing. But I remember your names. Anime fan writes, I'm good at drawing bodies. Well, not really. How do you draw them? Swaggy Mori says, practice, use references, and build up the body based on that. Grimheim, hi everyone, hi, nice to see you here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start. First, I usually start my pages, at least the inking, with the panel border, so I'm gonna start with that. But before that, I'm gonna make a tiny little bit adjusting so I can see what I'm drawing and your comments at the same time, because yeah, what I see on YouTube has a sort of delay or lag or whatever, so whenever I'm trying to see if you can see something in the camera, I have no idea. I can't see that because it's like half a minute behind. So yeah. Zemi9, oh, another familiar name. Hi. Hello, Andrea. Did you miss me? Maybe just a bit, right? Of course. I miss all of you. Like, I'm having so much fun during these live streams, and it's really nice to see the familiar names or faces here. And I'm always happy when you show up. Of course, I'm super happy for the new viewers as well, because you know you have to be a new viewer to become a returning viewer. But yeah, it's really fun to see the people who keep coming to these live streams, and you know I really appreciate that because it means that you're interested in what I'm doing, and that's an awesome feeling. Let's say, I see you, Miko. By the way, Andrea, I would like to thank you once again for taking your time to check out the piece of fan art I did with characters from Saturday. Absolutely, I really enjoyed that. It's a super fun piece, and thank you very much for the fan art. I really enjoyed it. See, Katalin, but I'm just gonna call you Katalin because I can't pronounce your last name, sorry. No problem, no one can spell it. I can understand its struggle. Okay, I have ideas how to pronounce it, but I probably would just butcher it even further, so I guess sometimes it's just easier to go with the shortened name. I'm sorry. Alex Kang, I have the motivation, the inspiration, idea, characters, and materials for my comic manga, but I don't know I don't know how to execute my story in the storyboard process. Any tips? Yeah, that's a tricky one, storyboarding. I myself find it to be the hardest part of creating manga, because that's where you need to have a well-written story executed well visually. What I like to do is I break up the scenes into not panels at first, but just small snippets of images, just to get what I imagine in my mind for a scene, just to get that out of my head. And once I choose those scenes I want to put into the panels, I can then work on the panel layouts, the page arrangements. Because I figured if I try to do it all at once, my pattern with the panel layout becomes really repetitive. And I figured for me that's easier to first work out the scenes, what camera shots I want to capture, and later on I will divide those into panels and pages. Makes things easier for me. So that's something I could recommend. And of course, read a lot of manga, check how different artists use different panel layouts, how they put the dramatic parts on page turning points and stuff like that. It is always the best to study other creators, because that's how you can learn. Of course, there are many people who just have the sense to do the paneling right, but not everyone. And if you lack in that sort of talent, that's okay. You can make up for it with a lot of research and hard work. I consider myself to be in that category as well, because yeah, for me, that, like I said, that's a hard part, working on the storyboards, the panel layout, and everything. I don't think that I have that sort of stylistic sense to just scribble everything and my pages look super neat and all that stuff. I'm gonna move this cable on the side. I'm sorry if it makes the camera move around a little bit, but I don't want to get tangled in it. Alrighty, so once I have the panel borders, I usually start with the speech bubbles. For this I'm using my good old G pen. So the page I'm drawing is from Saigami, my manga series published at Saturday AM, and the finished pages will appear in next issue of Saturday AM. That will be issue 90. So if you're interested what's going on, you can read that in the next issue. And if you're interested, Saturday AM's latest issue, issue 89, is already available, and it's a free issue, so anyone can read it. You just need to follow the links. But they're probably not in this video yet, but yeah, you can check my previous video. It was about announcing this live stream, and that you can read that Saturday AM issue for free, and that video will have the link for it, so you can enjoy Saturday AM for free. Of course, we do have other free issues if you're interested. On the homepage you can read some back issues, some issues were free to begin with. And if you enjoy what you see, you can subscribe to the magazine for just $5 for a whole year, and that will give you 20 issues, aka hundreds and almost thousands of pages, so that's a pretty good deal. And you can support creators like me, White Manga, and many of our other very talented creators. Yeah, here I kind of forgot to draw the speech bubbles. I have no idea how much I need there. Okay. I goofed up that a little bit. And I have no idea where are my storyboards. I'm so prepared once again. So I'm just gonna take a look at the comments. Where we were on. Anime fan, I got 100 pages at home and 2 packs of manga paper, 2 micron pens. And what pens do you use? This mechanical pencil is a Maped or Maped. I'm not sure if it shows. This is the brand with super bad lighting. This is a Reload 0.5. I do have some Sakura Sumo Grip mechanical pencils. These are pretty neat because I prefer it when my pens or pencils have a thicker grip, because that's more comfortable for me. These are the pens, but you know, you can use any sort of pen. Like, I have this mechanical pencil. It's just super cute because it has kittens, so it doesn't really matter what kind of pencil or mechanical pen you use. Anything you like, basically, is fine. And yeah, before I advance with the comments, I'm gonna grab my storyboards because I need to draw in the speech bubbles here, but I have no idea how much I need, so just excuse me. Alrighty, so I do have my storyboards. These are the storyboards. Really messed up. But yeah, for example, what I mentioned with the storyboards, this is how I start to work them out. These are just basically just indicators of the scenes, and then I divide those into panels like this and the text. So yeah, this is a very rushed version of storyboards, of course. Sometimes I use a proper version of the storyboards to make sure that everything is visible, especially if I have to send the storyboards to my editor or if it's a commission or stuff like that. But for me, I often just skip that part and go from days right to the pages. Let's see. Okay. Oh, so many comments, so many comments. Where was I? Zoltan Leonard, hello there. Hello, nice to see you again. My fellow Hungarians. Yay. Anime fan, can I do fan art? I mean, of course. You're always welcome to do fan art. We really appreciate fan art. Like, every creator appreciates fan art. I'm so sure about that. It's just amazing to see your characters captured by different artists. I personally like to do fan arts myself because I really enjoy that. Okay, so I have all of my speech bubbles. Now I'm gonna give it a minute to dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna be reading the comments. First of all, I'm gonna close my ink. Always close your ink whenever you're not working with it, because it can lead to nasty, nasty accidents. Alrighty, so Quill Studios Comics. Hey Sunny! Kent, what do you use to add dialogues? You mean writing in the text? I use Photoshop. I prefer to use the text tool in Photoshop. Of course, you can do that in Manga Studio and other drawing softwares, but I prefer to use Photoshop. I use the Anime Ace font mostly. Sometimes I use a different font for sound effects, or if it's a different type. For example, if it's shouting or something like that, then I switch to a different type of font. But mostly I go with Manga Studio, not with Manga. Anyway, yes, I can't. Gemini, I'm trying to do some more concept art, however I may take a while to start drawing because I don't know where to start. Derp. Yeah, starting is always very hard. Like, sometimes it just starts on its own, like, you know where to start, but sometimes it's just harder. But you know, as long as you keep working, that's fine. You'll start eventually. And you know, don't be that sort of creator that just waits for the perfect version of the story, the perfect moment. Because if you don't start it, that will never come. Just start working on it. You know, a storyboard is something you can always change, but once you have a storyboard, at least then you see that you already started, you have something, and you can work with that further away. So think about it. Of course, you don't need to rush, but start it. Don't wait for the perfect version, because that will never happen. Even when you start, like for example, in the first volume of Saigami, there are so many things that I know I could do better now. But you know, when I started, that was the best I could do, and at least I started, and I do have the book, and not just this one, because I do have the second book. But you know, if I were just reworking the story, the book would have never happened. So just start working on it. Let's see, Ayaka-san, Sakura Pigment Micro. Yeah, I do have those. I like to use these a lot. So yeah, these are pretty good pens. They run out a bit quick, but they are still good. Hi, Yumiko. When doing a chapter, do you first do the full storyboard for the chapter, or do you go page by page? I go installment to installment, because in Saturday AM we don't run full chapters of manga, unless you're J. Odin, who's just super fast and he has a full chapter of Hammer every time he appears. But usually we have to submit between 7 and 14 pages of manga content. So I usually focus on that amount of pages. For example, this installment I'm gonna have is 12 pages long. So right now I'm only focusing this. Of course, I know what will happen in the next chapter. I already have the script, some part of the storyboards, but I mostly focus on just this installment as long as I'm not done with it. I think it's easier. Of course, if we were to do chapters, then I probably will be doing it chapter by chapter. But since we're not, I don't see any point in just rushing ahead and doing a full chapter if I'm not needed to. And working on these 7 to 14 pages installments is something I really got used to. I find it easier to work with that. So yeah, that's what I usually stick to. Okay, and let me tell you, this is kind of hard because I usually prefer to turn my pages, but I'm not sure if I turn it right now, how well you will be seeing what I'm doing, so let's see. I'm very sorry that I couldn't do an overhead camera angle, but yeah, this is the best setup I have right now. That's why I kept doing digital live streams, because neither the camera's quality is the best nor the angle, so I have to put up with this for the time I'm in Hungary. But eventually we'll have better quality videos and live streams, so just please bear with me. Comments. Why not spelling the ink? Oh, this is tricky. I think digital is so much easier. John Mendoza. My manga is no longer a battle shonen, it's now a card battle shonen like Duel Masters or Yu-Gi-Oh! It's cool. Those manga are rare nowadays, I guess. Hisham Barakat, Sensei, it's me. Nice to see you. It's always nice to see the familiar names. I'm happy to have all of you here. Let's see. Examine Tone Shift, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what was that about. Probably it's the lighting, because yeah, the lamp I have here for the stream is not really the best. This is not the usual lamp I use for drawing, but my usual lamp is a very old lamp, and it just keeps flickering in the camera, so yeah, I don't want to mess up your eyes for this stream, so I figured I'm just gonna use a different lamp, but it is not really the best lamp for drawing, so yeah, I just gotta work with what I have. Alrighty, I'm gonna be doing the face and the eyes with a finer nib pen, with the Maru pen. Usually that's what I prefer to use for details and stuff for the face. Chan Mendoza, or no, where was I? Oh yeah, Link Slicer. Hi Sunny, hi, nice to see you again. I see Yumiko at Dink Slicer, hi again. John Mendoza, I want to make something different than another battle shonen and break away for it. Yeah, I totally see your point there. There are many battle shonen, so it is very hard to create something original or something that will make you stand out. Of course, I usually say it's about the execution and not about the main concept. But yeah, the execution is everything. Usually that's the hardest part. Let's see. Link Slicer at Hi Sia. Hi Sia. Hi Sia. Anyway folks, how can nib pens still exist in this manga world? Like this? They are pretty neat, you know. I really enjoy working with them. Because, you know, if you know how to use them, they can grant you a very nice line variety. Yeah, I can't English. And you know, that's something that can make your artwork look more dynamic. And I personally really enjoy that. Of course, I know things will slowly turn digitally. I can absolutely understand that because I myself enjoy working digitally, but I just can't see myself working on my pages digitally just yet. Like, it's just not the same for me. And many manga artists are still working with the traditional G pen nib pens. Yeah, just because some things are updated, they are not necessarily bad. And I guess there's a reason why many enjoy them. Okay, switching to the Maru pen. This is a Maru pen, it's a very fine tip nib. Ayaka-san writes, I also drawing manga. That's cool. Anime Fanex, Ayaka was the name. I also in the manga process. Ayaka-san DJ manga. Romario Herrera, hey, how do you fix ink mess-ups? Usually with whiteout. I do have different types of whiteouts, and if the mistake is that bad, then of course it will need a more drastic method to deal with it. There are cases where I just leave it as it is and fix the problem digitally later on, and sometimes I just cut out a piece of paper, glue it over the original image and correct it on the paper like that. It's like creating a new layer in digital artwork. But yeah, it usually depends on the mess up. At least the scale of the mess up, I guess. And sometimes you just have to scratch the whole page. Because, you know, if you spill ink all over your page, there's no really saving that. So that's why if you're working traditionally like this, you have to be very, very careful. Because it's just ought to happen. It happened with me. It happened with many other artists, I'm sure. That's just part of working traditionally. Let's see. Link Slicer at Romario. Photoshop or find a way to work around it, like making it into something new. That can work as well, like the Bob Ross way. Turn a mistake into birds or something. That can work. It always depends on the type or scale of the mistake, I guess. Some mistakes are very easy to correct, and some are not. I guess I'm somewhat more silent in this stream, but you know, inking requires more concentration than doing digital, because in digital art you can always correct the mistakes. Unless you have worked on the wrong layer, there's no saving that. But yeah, traditional requires a bit more focus, in my opinion. I'm gonna end this here and you read the comments after that, because I will have to give it a bit more drying time to begin with. Så det är så funny whenever I ink Sean hair. Like, I do have the pencil lines for his hair, but I usually never ink over those. Like, it's just different all the time. See hairs along the way. Okay, now to the comments. Anime fan, I mess up my storyboards sometimes. That's okay, you know, storyboards are very, very easy to correct. Like, storyboards exist to be the platform of trial and failure and corrections. Grimheim, do you know these people who draw a storyboard and it looks like a finished manga pages, but just tiny? How? I know, right? Yeah, like, some people are just crazy. Like, even just the scribbles look just so perfectly smooth and clean. Like my sketches are super messy and yeah, and some people just, it's a thumbnail, but it looks so perfect. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, I wish I could do that. Like, if I could sketch and storyboard so cleanly, that would speed up my drawing process so much. And that will be like super, super useful. Quill Studios comics. Does Saturday AM accept Western style comics for submissions? I think we do. Like, you know, of course, we are a manga magazine, but you know, as long as the story and the quality is good, it doesn't really matter what kind of style you're drawing in. Like, we had creators who were more closer to the Western style than to Japanese manga style. As long as it's good, feel free to submit it. I'm loving king chibis. They are so easy. See. Oh, where was I? Where was I? So many comments. You guys are fast. Let's see. Romero Herrera, have you ever smudged ink before? Oh yeah, countless times. With my hands, with my clothes, with piece of paper, with cat, you know, everything. Like, I usually do have my inking dress. Like, I usually wear this jersey to ink because it already has patches of ink on it. So, so yeah, I'm not ruining new clothes like this. But yeah, it just happens all the time. Especially when I started out with nib pens. That was a nightmare. I'm more careful nowadays. So I'm saying that it doesn't happen that often. I knock on it though. But yeah, it just happens, you know. Just the wrong movement, just dozing off a little bit, not paying attention. Especially when you've been working on pages for hours and hours, it's very, very, very easy to make a mistake. Yeah, I guess that's just part of it. I'm not saying that's what makes it a nice and pleasant way, but you know, it's just part of it, so you just gotta deal with it. Sometimes it can be super frustrating. But yeah, that's how it is. But you know, even when you smudge the ink or have a mistake with the ink, it's just so satisfying to be able to correct that mistake. Like, so it's like achieving victory. Or at least usually that's how I feel. Like, it can be so glorious of a moment that yes, I nailed it, I could fix it, and no one will ever know. Let's see. Link Slicer. Jiren is like the Eiichiro Oda of Saturday AM. White Manga is like Taiti Kubo, and you're very much like the Masashi Kishimoto of Saturday AM. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Like, yeah, I can so much agree with the boys on that. I mean, yeah, Jayodin is just crazy fast. He has a very unique quirky art style like Eiichiro Oda. So he's just crazy. Like, he's a super fun guy. But yeah, he's incredibly fast. White Manga is just amazing. He really has an interesting style. No, I'm really happy to be able to work among these guys and or other creators as well. Everyone is so hardworking and it's super inspiring to be part of this team of creators. White Fox Stories. Hello, I'm working on drawing too right now. That's cool. Let's draw together. Ricardo Duran. Don't worry, Sunny. As long as we get to watch you draw, we are happy. Thank you. I'm really happy to hear that. Because, yeah, in my current state, I really can't provide you the usual video content or that much artwork. But yeah, this is a nice way to combine videos with creating the mandatory artworks. Okay, where's my tissue? Grimheim writes, agreed. Thank you. I have to ask Zaminine, what is your favorite donut? I'm not too much of a donut fan. I guess something filled with cream, or I'm not sure if that's a brand or a type, but I like this sort of thing that has vanilla cream inside. Like, it just needs to be filled with something. Like, I don't really like those dry donuts that only have some icing on the top or chocolate on top. I enjoy cakes and cookies and those sort of things when they do have a filling. But yeah, I can't even remember the last time I had donut. Of course, I think around February, yeah, around February, it's a Hungarian tradition to create donuts at home. But I wasn't here in February, I was still in Canada, so I kinda missed that event. I'm not sorry about it, because like I said, I never really was that big of a fan of donuts, but yeah, usually that's where I have my fair share of donuts for the whole year. Where am I? Cream High agreed to something. I just can't follow, but we are agreeing on or not, but yeah. I guess I'm so much behind the comments here. Book and Manga, good evening, Sunny. Hello, good evening. It's nice to see you here again. Let's see. Hi, see Miko. Do you ever have problems in coming up with how the story should go on? Like, you know the end and what the story message is, but the flow becomes hard to draw or put it into the page. Yep. Countless times. Like, you know, sometimes it's easy to come up with a point you want to reach in the story. You know, the cool parts, the big drama, the exciting or the epic stuff. But I find it hard to connect the dots. Like, I do have many dots from the story that I know I'm heading to that direction, but sometimes it's just hard to capture how to get there. So I find that aspect of writing hard. Sometimes I'm just hesitant on what to do. Like, I have several versions how the events could play out, but I'm really not sure which one to go with. Usually these are the times where I'm asking for the help of my editor. Of course, he's not telling me what to do right off the bat, but he usually asks me questions, and by answering those questions, I can realize the right answer by myself. So that's a really good way to work together. I really like that. Sometimes I come up with a solution myself. Sometimes I just change things. Like, I know what I want. I kind of know how to write things to lead to that point. And I'm just brainstorming, and I realize that okay, that's not really the best way to go about it, so I just changed things in the last minute. So yeah, I usually try to stay flexible and not to stress too much about things, but yeah, many times it's just hard to write. There are characters in my stories that are just hard to work with. Like these two here, they are super simple, like, or at least for me to work on them. Like Sean and Ayumi, they are very easy to write. But for example, Reggie, he's super hard. Like, he's usually giving me the most trouble. So yeah, it also depends what kind of scenes I want. How much action scenes can be harder for me. You know, to do a good choreography and stuff like that. So yeah, many times it's not easy. Let's see. White Fox Stories, what kind of pen are you using? Do you have any tips on how to use them? This is a Deleter G pen. This is a Tachikawa Maru pen. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Like, I do have different pen holders. Like, I do have this type of Deleter pen holder, this older wooden pen holder. But yeah, the G pens are from Deleter. And yeah, I think this was a Deleter Maru pen. Maybe, though, I think. Yeah, it came with a trial pack. That doesn't really matter. That's what I could get my hands on, but I really like the Zebra G pen. The tips, you have to get used to them. Like, I figured that using nib pens is something you learn as you go with them. At first they gave me a lot of trouble. I couldn't control the line variety. I always made mistakes while inking. But you know, as you go, you just figure it out on your own. You get used to it, you become more comfortable with it. Or not. Maybe it's not for everyone. There are many times where I just switch to the fine liners because it's an artwork I find hard and I feel like I don't really want to mess up, and I just switch to the fine liners because you can basically have the same effect with those too. Maybe you won't have as much line variety, or you will have to put in some more effort in order to reach that. But you know, it can be done. Yeah, practice. Mostly, like, I don't think there's a right way to tell you that, oh yeah, you have to hold it like this and you will be good. Like, I'm holding the pen the wrong way. Like, you're supposed to hold pens like this and I'm holding them like this. And that's just stupid. Because I bet you any money that if I were to hold the pen the right way, it probably would be easier to control them. But sadly, no one ever told me that I'm holding the pen the wrong way, and that's how I learned. So, yeah. Let's see. Ricardo Duron. Lol, Inksor is totally right with that analogy. Yeah, that's a super fun comparison there. Romario Herrera. Because of you and White Manga, I found out about the G pen and I love using it. Oh, that's great. Of course, you know, I always say that work with whatever you have and what you enjoy working with, but you know, if you find new tools that you love working with, that's always great. And I'm happy I could contribute to that. Because I personally really like to work with the G pen and the Maru pen and these nib pens. Like, even before I had a G pen, I just worked with a traditional nib pen that I got in Hungary in my local art store. And I love that too. It wasn't a G pen, but I came to like it. once again the comments. Let's see, where was I? Katalin Batyurka. Not our question, but Saigami will be viable in fall MangaCon. That's a good question. I won't be at fall MangaCon because I plan to go back to Canada at the end of summer, so I surely won't be there. But I already had a discussion with some artist friends who are usually selling their books in the artist alley, and it is very likely that they will have Saigami volumes in my place at the fall MangaCon or other conventions that will happen in Hungary. So there's a very good chance that Saigami will be there. We probably will discuss the details at Summer MangaCon. But I surely would love to have the books at the conventions, even when I'm not there, because, you know, once I completely finish moving to Canada, I won't be returning to Hungary for every conventions, like probably just once a year. So yeah, I really want to come up with a solution on how to have the Hungarian volumes of Saigami at the conventions. So we are working on that. Let's see, Zami9, Masashi Kishimoto. I always thought she was more like Hiromashima, but okay. Well, thank you. I guess if we stick to Shonen Jump, because, you know, Hiromashima is not a creator of Shonen Jump, he's in Shonen Magazine, so I guess if you want to go with the big three of Shonen Jump, then the only one left next to Eiichiro and Taichi Kubo is Kishimoto, so I would understand that. I just can't think English. Of course, I enjoy it, like, you know, it's always super appealing to be compared to my big manga idols. Like, you know, I started to draw manga inspired by Kishimoto, and later on Hiromashima became my biggest favorite, so yeah. It's just very neat. Let's see. Jalen Covington. Hey, I want to get into inking. What materials should I look into? Inking like October? You mean October? Well, I would recommend you to try out different things, especially if you want to do the challenge. Like, you can use dip pens like this, you can use fine liners like the Microns, or there are many other brands like Ceratabs. One inking tool I really like to use myself is the Penta brush pen. It's a super fine tip brush pen, and I just love to work with this. So these are my main inking tools. I can only recommend them because I really like them, but, you know, from fine liners you can find cheaper stuff, like there are the Artist Loft. That doesn't show up. Which way? Yeah. So the Artist Loft fine liners, I find this pretty good too. Like, they are absolutely okay for inking, and, you know, they are cheaper than Microns, so I never really bothered that much about my inking pens. I did have this Artline drawing pen, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Sachihata, it was also a Japanese type. There are the Copic multi-liners. These are very expensive, but you can replace the nibs and the cartridge, so they are refillable. They can be very practical for that. These are another brand I really love, but I don't think they are sold all around the world. Like, these are the Edding multi-liners or draw liner. I love this. Like, you can see how much the printing on it is faded because I use it so much, because I really have to work with these sort of pens. And, you know, you can always work with something super cheap like the Stabilo fine liners. Of course, Stabilo is more like the European brand, like they are from Germany. But yeah, when I started to ink my manga pages, at first I used this. Like, this is just 0.5, or no, 0.4 fine tip, but that's what all I had, so I ink my manga pages with this. So yeah, just try out different brands, different type of pens, and draw with the one you enjoy using the most. Where are we? Book and manga. We don't make mistakes, we just make happy accidents, like Bob Ross. Exactly! You can always turn your mistakes into something. Like, if nothing else, into experience, but yeah, happy accidents. Ricardo Duran, I guess that is pretty true as well. Zami. Alpha Proto, sweet guitar solo. Yeah, the music you can hear, part of it is just YouTube royalty-free music, but many of the songs are composed by Matthias Terre, aka Madness, who's a German musician, and he provides most of the music for this channel. Like, he composed songs for Saigami, and they are amazing. I really like his work. You can find his link to his YouTube channel on my channel, so if you enjoy the music, it's very likely that it's Matthias, so I can only recommend to check him out. Quiz Studios Comics. Sunny, do you recognize me? I changed my YouTube name from Chicano to Quiz Studios. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I recognize you. I didn't know the new username, but yeah, based on your old username, absolutely. See, Joyce, Absolute Zero. Oh, I'm very sorry, but I totally can't read that. Like, that's a language I'm not familiar with it. So yeah, if anyone knows that language and maybe can translate it into English, please do it, because I don't even have an idea what language is that. I'm sorry. Like, I speak several languages, but that's not one of them. Alpha Proto, now I want donuts. Actually, yeah, now I would enjoy one. Mr. Jergood, phew, I'm not late. Or I kinda am. Well, you're not that much late, and you know, you can always just watch the beginning after the stream is done. But anyway, nice to see you here again. Quiz Studios, check your messenger, Sunny. Well, I want to check it in the middle of the stream, but after the stream, I probably will, like, I'm usually behind my messages. Like, I'm receiving a lot of messages every day, so I don't always have the time to answer them. So if anyone is messaging me, please be patient. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I'm juggling around too much. Like, I'm working Saturday AM, I'm working on commissions, I'm working on stuff for Patreon, I'm working full-time in my real-life job. And you know, there are other things like chores, traveling, and many other stuff, so it's very hard to juggle things and always respond to any messages I receive. So please always be patient. Let's see. Mr. Gerdude, but I was like 45 minutes late since the stream started. Oh, right, we're already at it for an hour now. I didn't even notice the time was going by so fast. But yeah, you can always just watch it later. Sami9 to Mr. Gerdude, how's your manga coming along? Mr. Gerdude finally got a one-shot in my mind that includes characters, world building, antagonists, and so on. That's cool. Good luck with that. Guide for artists and entrepreneurs. Nice to see you again. You should try doing full digital. It's cheaper. I know. I'm well aware that it's cheaper. It can be faster. It can be more convenient many times. But I just don't feel that comfortable with digital yet. Like, I really enjoy doing the sketches and coloring digitally. But when it comes to pages, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. But there's just something that is not the same in digital. Eventually there might come the day when I switch to digital. But not yet. Mr. Gerdude, how thick is manga paper? Actually not that thick. Like, this is 135 kilogram of thickness. You know, paper has that sort of scaling. For example, your usual printer paper is usually 90 grams or kilograms, depending on how the scale is. So this is not even twice the thickness of a printer paper based on the scaling. So yeah, it's not that thick. Of course, it also depends on the brand, because some comic papers tend to be way thicker than this liter paper. Like, I did try out, I think that was a Fanboy comic paper, I think. I remember that being way thicker than my deleters. So yeah, it highly depends on the brand. Let's see. Mario, are you using a cloth or a paper towel to wipe off the ink of the nail? It's just a tissue. Like, it's just a paper tissue. Of course, it's a thicker type, so not the cheapest. I think it has 3 layers or something, so it's a super soft tissue. I like to use that. I have at hand. I usually prefer to use tissues like this, like cloths didn't really work out for me. So yeah, I just prefer to stick with this one. But the tissue has to be thick. Natalie Leiva, thank you. Okay, I see Yumiko is replying to Joyce, so I guess there's a conversation going on in a language that I don't know. Ricardo Duran, is that Portuguese? I understand a few words because of my Spanish, but I don't know what the language is. Hi Yumiko, yes, it's Portuguese. Oh, okay, okay. You're aware of that. Actually, talking about Portuguese, doesn't anyone know what was the result of the Portugal-Uruguay soccer match? Like, I didn't have the chance to watch it, but I was very interested. So if anyone knows, please let me know. Um, uh, manga. You're doing a great job, Sunny. Thank you. I'm trying my best here. Let's see. Ricardo Duran, haha, cool. I kinda get the gist of what it says, but not entirely. Zami9, you know what? I think I should just draw my favorite Saigami character, Reggie. Oh, that's cool. I really would be interested in that. So please do. Alex Kang, what do you think is the most important thing when creating? Well, that's a good question. Like, of course, I can say that it's to have fun, because it is important to enjoy what you do. But you know, if you're working professionally, there will just be times when you just don't enjoy it necessarily, because, you know, there's a lot of stress, there are deadlines. So I don't want to phrase things sounding like it's always a happy, fun time. So I wouldn't say that. I think the most important thing is to create something that can reach people. Like, for me, it was always important to have a message, to be able to create something people can enjoy, can relate to the characters, that I can tell a story that will mean something for them. Of course, you know, whenever I'm working on the story, I'm not always like, oh, I'm gonna put something here that people will think about that, or so they can relate to this. So it's not always intentional, but yeah, for me that's a very important thing. Like, you know, to make the characters more relatable, I make sure that they do have flaws, they make mistakes. There's not really an OP character among the main characters. And, you know, I try to give problems to the characters and hurdles that, even if the setting is in a fantasy world, that can be relatable. And whenever I get feedback on that and what it meant to my readers, that is always just incredible. And that makes it a super happy thing for me, because even when I sometimes struggle with keeping up deadlines, working on the pages, even when it's hard, receiving feedback like that, hey, this meant a lot to me, like I can relate to that, or the message, I got the message and it meant a lot, it helped me, it changed things, or anything of that nature, that is just incredible. So I would say for me that is the most important. Ricardo Duran, my favorite Saigami character is obviously Chibigan. Yeah, he's popular. Manga, even if you fake the digital pens, it still doesn't seem to have the same look as pens. I think there is a happy medium to be found. Yeah, it's just, of course, it's called the digital G pen. Now, you know, that I do have a pen display, I can actually draw on the screen, so it feels close to being able to draw on paper, but it's just somehow it's just not the same. So yeah. I guess my bookend said there has to be a pen that will make me feel like, oh, it's exactly like working on the paper or my usual inking way. But as long as I don't find that tool, I just can't see myself switching fully to digital to my pages. Zemi9, Chibigan is so cute, I want one. Yeah, me too. Like, he's just so much fun to draw, like super simple, but I love drawing Chibigan and his funny scenes. Normal Comic Junkie, yo, what's up, Sunny? Hi, nice to see you again. Ricardo Duran, me too, Zemi, me too. Yeah. I really want to have Chibigan plushies or something. That would be so cute. Grimheim, Chibigan kind of reminds me of Toothless, a very cute dragon. The third movie is coming out soon, by the way. Oh yeah, I just can't wait for that. Like, Toothless is the most adorable thing ever. Like, oh my god. I love him so much. And the trailer for the third movie is so much fun. I just can't wait to see it. I really enjoyed both of the first and the second movie, so I'm really looking forward to the conclusion of the story. Guide for artists and their planners. This is Spanish. You también? Well, I surely don't speak Spanish, so I have no idea about that. Yeah. I do speak German. I do speak a bit of French. I do speak a bit of Japanese. And of course, Hungarian and English. Mr. Gerdude, Portugal lost. Oh wow! I called it. You know, I made a bet with my boss the other day because I told him that I think Uruguay will win. So yay! I won the bet. I can have a free Coke at work. Yay! Oops, sorry. I think my leg hit the ironing board. My camera is on, so sorry. Let's see. Book and manga. How do you find the difference between using a G pen and micron type pens? If I have used the right term. Oh yeah. I think that working with microns and the likes of them, like the fine liners, grants me a safer feeling. Like you know, it's not so risky to work with them than with the nib pens. So if I want to draw something very accurately, some details, I prefer to use them. But you know, since they're just one type of line weight they have, whenever I ink with the microns, I usually go over and over and over again the line art. I still do that with the nib pens as well, because sometimes I just can't get the right line weight right with the bat. So I'm always working over my first layer of inking. But with the fine liners, I have to do that more. And what I don't like about the microns is that when you're erasing, your ink will stay black with the nib pens, but if you're erasing microns, they will fade like a lot. So sometimes when I'm doing some super fine details with the microns, like they do have the 005 nib, and if I erase over that, sometimes it's just barely even visible, especially if you scan it later on, and you know, not everything will show up after scanning, so that can be a bit frustrating, I think. So I would say that's the biggest difference. I still enjoy working with both, and many times I just combine them, like I'm doing my first layer of inking with the nib pens, and I do the second layer or the adjustments or with touch-ups with the microns. I guess it always depends on what I'm drawing. I prefer to use the microns for the backgrounds, because you know, all the fine details, all the small lines. It's also faster because you don't have to wait for the microns to dry, whilst with the dip pens, you have to wait till it dries, otherwise you will smudge it. So yeah, that's like a patience game. But I enjoy working with both of them, so both are very, very useful and enjoyable to work with. Hasimiko, we lost. Portugal lost. I'm very depressed. I'm sorry. Especially since I already told you that I made a bet against Portugal, so I'm sorry. I just had the feeling that they will. I mean, I usually enjoy the soccer, very European, let's say it's football, because we all know it's the real football is soccer. So I usually enjoy the football Portugal plays. Like, usually they are the team I'm rooting for in the Euro leagues and whenever we have a World Cup, because you know, Hungary never makes it. Of course, 2 years ago we actually did make into the Europe Championship, and we had an awesome match against Portugal. But yeah, I don't think they were that good in this World Cup. Like many of the big football nations or soccer nations, I think are way, very weaker than what's expected of them. Like Argentina, like they just lost. And shoot, Germany, like Germany was the biggest surprise in this whole World Cup. Like no one expected them to lose so early. So I think this World Cup is very interesting in that aspect, that all of the big teams are just slowly falling out. Yeah, my bet is actually on Croatia on this World Cup, and not just because they are, you know, our neighbors, because Croatia is next to Hungary, but yeah, I really enjoy the football they are playing in this World Cup, so I'm rooting for them. Mr. Gerdude, it's okay, Sweden will avenge them. That will be exciting. Samina, don't get upset. Okay, it's only a game. Why you have to be mad? Yeah, it's only a game, but you know, it's just awesome to root for your own country in a big sport event. I can't really say the same for the Hungarian soccer team, but oh well. We're at least good in many other sports like water polo. and things like that. So yeah, we have that going on for us. Okay, there's some sort of Spanish or Portuguese comment again. I just can't follow. Actually, I really wanted to learn Spanish because so many people speak Spanish. It will be very, very practical to learn it. Quill Studios, Mexico for the win. Well, yeah, they do have the chance. I guess it's very, very hard to predict the outcome of this World Cup, so... Hi Miko. I'm not mad, I'm just sad. I wish my country's team could go further. Yeah, I can totally understand that. And, you know, usually everyone expects some good result when it comes to Portugal, Germany, or the other big football nations, so absolutely understandable. Okay, and let us try a little bit. Mr. Gerdude, I was on a date today, and the girl I was on a date with asked me if I wanted to see her favorite pen store. Later on when we arrived, I saw a lot of microns in there. I hugged her to death, lol. It's hard to find a store which has micron pens in Norway. Oh, that's a really sweet story, actually. And yeah, I can relate to that. It's very hard to find microns in Hungary. Like, you have to travel to the capital to find one, so keep her. She's a treasure. Hi Yumiko, I bought mine at Staples. Oh, I didn't know Staples has them. That's good to know. Of course, it will depend on what country you're in. I mean, I know in Hungary we don't have any Staples, we don't have Michaels and stuff like that, so it's kind of a bit harder. Ricardo Duran. Oh man, well, I guess there is no chance of a second date if you hugged her to death. Bummer, man, at least you got micron pens. True. Hamad Hussain, hi, nice to see you here. Normal Comic Junkie, if there were Chibigam plushies, then I'd be so happy. Actually, there's a chance, because I do have a friend in the artist alley. Well, we're usually having the same booth, or at least we're at the booths together in the artist alley, and she's creating plushies, like all sorts of anime-related plushies, like Totoro plushies, Digimons, Pokemon, everything. So yeah, I actually told her that she should be making a Chibigon plushie, because that will be super cute. So I guess we're working on that. Of course, you know, we'll have a convention in 2 weeks, so she's super busy. But hopefully after the convention, she'll create something. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put this page aside and I'm gonna ink another one, or I'm not sure. Do you want me to finish up this page, or do you want to see another page being inked? For that I need to catch up with the comments, but yeah, that's my question, because I can either finish this, like working on the shadings, filling in the blacks, doing some backgrounds, or I can work on another page. So what do you want to see? Semina and Shadavan take my money. Hamad Hussein, oh my god, this is hard. Grimheim, Germany had a shameful last match, but it is what it is. Perhaps Croatia will even win the World Cup. Yeah, my money's on them. Like, they are really good. Like, I think, but yeah, Germany just blew my mind. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but yeah, they were weak. Like that wasn't the usual German soccer we can see from them. So yeah, but it still was shocking. Uh, Zombie9, you place the bet on the fate of an entire team for just a coke. Hell, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I wasn't so sure to have a bigger stake or something. So, yeah, we did that. But we do that with every match, so basically it's just the usual. I'm sorry. Quiz Studios. Cake was a good bet. Next time, make a 24 pack. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm gonna go in and gonna make a bet on Croatia or something because, yeah, I might have the sixth sense. Like, there are so many matches I just called, and no one believed me. Of course, there were some matches that I bet would go another way, like Germany match, but you know, that's what makes it exciting. Normal Comic Junkie. Hey Sunny, have you read Eden Zero yet? Yeah. I read the first chapter. I enjoyed it. It's your usual Hiro Mashima first chapter. But I really enjoyed the premise of the world, so I'm really looking forward to see what will be in the second chapter and where the story will go. So yeah, I'm absolutely eager to read more. And yeah, I really enjoyed the characters, like the two main characters. Of course, indeed, they look very similar to Natsu and Lucy. I even couldn't help but read their lines with their voices, so I guess that will take some time to get used to them. But I find them really likable, so far I'm enjoying Eden Zero. Of course, I might be biased because I'm a huge fan of Mashima, so yeah. Guide for artists, love the background music, so relaxing. Well, yeah, I really wanted to put in something that can make this a bit more enjoyable and to prevent long silence. Can you sing? No. You don't want that. Like, I'm partially tone deaf, so my singing is all over the place, so it's not pleasant at all. Like, believe me, in elementary, my teacher said that I should be just clapping instead of singing, so that should tell you all. Of course, whenever I'm alone and I enjoy my music at home, I sing for myself, but don't let anyone hear that. Another page. Mr. Jardo, to be honest, I want to see you're working on the other pages. Another page. Okay. Then I guess it's another page. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this aside. Let's see. I think I'm gonna work on this one. For the Rage fans. Let's see, I'm gonna catch up a little bit with the comments. Joyce, Absolute Zero, forgive me for the English of Google Translator. I just wanted to thank you, you inspire me a lot. I would like to publish my manga one day, but I still have a long way to go. Oh, thank you for writing in English. I hope you understand what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm really grateful for hearing that. And good luck! Normal Comic Junkie, I mean, I want to see the inking from the beginning if you have uninked pages. Yeah, I have a few more, so here we go with a new page. Mr. Who, Eden Zero was just like other Mashima story. Exactly, like it was your usual boy meets girl first chapter. So yeah, but to be honest, it was never the first chapter of his stories that got me hooked on. Like, the first chapter, heck, even the first volume of Remaster I consider to be the weakest of the entire series. Like, I think he's a slow starter. Even with Fairy Tail, I remember reading the first chapter of Fairy Tail after Remaster, and I was like, yeah, I'm not that hooked on. And it took me time to get hooked on Fairy Tail and Remaster as well, but once he got me, oh my god, then yeah, I absolutely love it. And I really think and hope that Eden Zero will be another one of those slow starter stories, and later on it will show us something that we enjoyed, or at least I enjoyed, in Fairy Tail and Master and his other works. Book and manga, I need to head off now. Until next time, enjoy the last of the live stream, everyone. See you later, Sunny. Thank you for being here. See you later. Normal comic junkie. I'm not a big fan of Hiro Mashima works, but I love his character designs and artwork. He can make some really good art. Yeah, he's incredible, and he's super fast. Like, I think he's one of the fastest creators. Ricardo Duran, that teacher is mean. Oh yeah, she was. Like, she was the sort of teacher everyone hated. So yeah. Mr. Who, I will make 100 friends. Yeah, that's kind of a weak motivation, so I really hope the story will get some more depth and become more serious. I mean, he teased it that this next story will be more serious, so we can only hope. And yeah, before I'm gonna start inking this page, I'm just gonna grab a drink because I can barely talk now, so excuse me for a second. Okay, I think no, we do have another comment. Yeah, Mr. Who at Mr. Jergood. Wow, it's like cross between Dragon Ball and Fairy Tail, and I don't like Dragon Ball as much as everyone. I can agree with that. I always thought that Dragon Ball is overrated. Like, it's not such a good story. I mean, the first Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, that was a fun adventure traveling story. But yeah, that's it. So far, I think that yes, Eden Zero has a lot of similarities with the original Dragon Ball. Like Rebecca arriving to that. Well, I don't want to spoil anything. So yeah, Rebecca is very much like Bulma in the first chapter of Dragon Ball. So I can absolutely see the connection there. I guess we'll see where the story goes. Let's see, Play Studios. If you were a Saigami character, how would you describe yourself? Let's see. Well, obviously, I would want to be a Saigami. And I think I would want to be a water Saigami, because water is an element I'm afraid of. Like, I can't swim. But despite that, I really enjoy being at lakefronts, looking at the sea or water or rivers or anything, you name it, even rain. I really enjoy it. So despite fearing water, I really like water. So it would be amazing to be able to control water. So I would want to be a water Saigami for sure. And yeah, I'm not really sure about the rest. Maybe I could do a challenge where I just draw myself as a Saigami character, because that could be fun. I never really put that much thought into it, but that actually could be a fun challenge. So yeah, maybe I will do that. I mean, I will have to draw an image for the third volume, for the creator section to begin with, so yeah, I guess I could draw myself as a Saigami. What about you guys? If you were Saigami, what elements would you like to control? Or would you want to be a dragon tamer or something else? Let's see. Patrick Goka. Kinda cringy motivation. Yeah, like, so far I think that motivation was like the weakest point. And I can see that it will give us some more Nakama power-ups and my friends are my powers. That's kind of a wrong franchise. Fairytale had its moment like that too, so yeah, I'm a bit afraid that it will go like that. Of course, we already know that Nakama power boosts and things like that are one of his trademarks. But I really hope that there will be more to that story. Like, Shiki's world is opening up, so I really hope that he will find new motivations. So yeah, those of you who didn't make it here to the start, I'm inking this page. I'm starting with the panel borders. For that I'm using a micron pen. And then I will ink the speech bubbles first, and then I will ink the characters. And after I'm done with the characters, I'm going to be inking the backgrounds and the effects and stuff like that. But yeah, I usually like to start with the characters. I'm gonna leave this a little bit of time to dry. Mr. Geodude, Dragon Ball Super, only William was Edge Goku and Mr. I Am Immortal. Yeah, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, like, I only know it from the memes and posts. But yeah, it didn't have anything that will tempt me to watch it. Normal comic junkie, one mangaka that is underappreciated is Yuki Tabata, creator of Black Clover and Hungry Joker. His artwork is amazing. He is good at copics. We're at a dangerous territory here. Yes, his artwork is really good, and he's very good at creating hype, like panels and artwork and scenes that are very fast-paced, exciting, and are hypeful. But I think that story-wise, he's a weak writer. Like, Hungry Joker had a better story than Black Clover. I think Black Clover is just a mashup of stories, so I don't really enjoy the story of Black Clover. I enjoy the art of it. Of course, he kind of has the same face syndrome, in my opinion, but yeah, many creators have that. Like, Hiro Mashima, like, his characters are looking the same, even in two different stories, so yeah. Reggie versus Grateful Buster. Your argument is invalid. That would be really cool. I wonder who would win. Like, if I say that, oh yeah, Reggie would win, that would be kind of biased. I'm not sure if he would. That would be very interesting. Mr. Who at Mr. Geodude. Dragon Ball Super, when Goku created an universe, make me hate all the thing in Dragon Ball. Wow, I didn't know something like that happened. Gemini, Dragon Ball, it's time to stop. Yeah, like, some things should just stop. Mr. Geodude, Dragon Tamer. That's cool. Zami 9, I'd be Fire and Dragon Tamer. Can I have both, please? Well, the Zenoda clan is traditionally a wind user of Dragon Tamers, but they are not the only Dragon Tamers in the world of Saigami, so yep, it is possible. No spoilers though. Like, you know, once we get over this arc, I will introduce the world of Saigami more in depth. So there will be a lot more to the world and characters, so I'm super excited for that. Mr. Who at Zami 9. The logic in this series is too low than a Tolkien book. Mr. Jerry Dude, I wanna ride the dragon towards the sunset. Yeah, I think we all wanna do that. Like, dragon is just cool. Of course, for that you will need a fully grown dragon. Like, no one's gonna ride Chibigon, that's for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Normal comic junkie. If I were a Saigami character, I'd be a fire Saigami. I really hate hot stuff, so that'd be perfect for me. Yeah. I guess that's the same motivation than me and water. Patrick Nogoka? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sorry. Sorry, but could you briefly list the different Saigami elements and the other classifications? Well, the elements that we know of yet in the story, like I don't want to spoil anything just yet, are your basic 4 elements: fire, water, earth, and wind. There are Saigamis like the Zenoda clan, like Shon, one of the main characters, who are secondary attributes next to being Saigami, like they are also dragon tamers. And yeah, so far that's pretty much all we know of the world yet, so I can't wait to reveal some more things about that. Actually, in the 3rd volume, I'm already going to be introducing something that's actually different from the things I listed here. And I'm super excited for that. I feel like that will be one of the most exciting things in the 3rd volume. So yeah, it will be super fun. Hi, see you, Miko. Water Saigami, yay! Team Water. Mr. Who, Mr. Church Dude. If I didn't watch the anime, I would like the manga. Kamni Afalabi. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Kamni. Nice to see you here. Chris Studios. What would your character look like when they are all grown up, say 10 years later? Good question. Yeah, I don't know, like some smaller changes, like I think Reggie would have shorter hair. Probably Sean too. Of course they would look more mature. Although, you know, I guess the 10 years in the early 20s is the area where it doesn't really show. Like, I'm 28 and people still don't think I'm 18, so I don't think there's too much of a change. Like, of course, I could play with the hairstyles, maybe make Ayumi's hair longer, the guy's shorter, different hairstyle, somewhat different, different clothing, and yeah, I guess it's something that I could draw as well. like a version where they look all grown up. Of course, that wouldn't be canon because, yeah, you can never know what will happen in the story, so I wouldn't include elements that might happen, like, you know, a scar or something. But yeah, it's kind of hard to put into words because whenever time skips happen in anime and manga, I don't think the difference is that big. Like, sure, there are some changes in hairstyle and here and there, but it's nothing too major. Like, 10 years is a lot, but when you're a young adult, I don't think 10 years can make that much of a difference into your looks. Of course, some mature and stuff like that. Like, there are classmates I wouldn't recognize anymore because they changed so much. But for the majority of people, I don't think that 10 years in the early 20s is that significant. Unless such a drastic change happens. Of course, as the story will go, you will see changes in the characters' look somewhat. Like, you know, as time will go, of course, there will be some changes in the hairstyle and things like that. And who knows, maybe there will be a time skip too in Saigami, so we'll see. Let's see. Romario Herrera. When you color traditionally, do you use watercolor or markers? I prefer watercolor. I do have markers. I made a few videos a couple months ago about markers. I got some new markers, the Artist Loft and some other brand of markers. I enjoyed working with them. But I still enjoy that watercolor gives me more freedom when it comes to mixing colors, making gradients, and all sort of stuff. And markers I just find expensive, even the cheap markers. If you buy a huge selection of them, they will cost you, and yeah, they run out, you have to replace them. In order to create good pictures, you will need a bigger selection of colors. So yeah, markers are one of the most expensive. Watercolor are way cheaper to use. Of course, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy working with a huge set of Copics or any other markers, not necessarily Copics. Because yeah, working with markers is faster. If you work with watercolors, you will give it a lot of drying time and stuff like that, so it's one of the slowest medium. The slowest color pencils though, but still. Mr. Jardu, the manga is fast-paced at Mr. Who. Patrick Noka, I feel like the author of Black Clover has the same nose syndrome. Yeah, like, absolutely. That's true. Murakami Junkie. One thing that I noticed in Tabata's work is the noses. They are so frigging long. Yeah, I'm right. Like, they are weird shaped and long. That's for sure. Gerudo, the enemy is too slow as a snail. Yeah, I guess in Dragon Ball, but usually most of the enemies are slower than the manga. Or not every of them, but yeah, the long stories like One Piece and Dragon Ball, they tend to be way slower in anime. Patrick, all characters appear to have really pointed noses. In the manga at least. Yeah, the anime I think fixed some aspects of it, but still in the manga, yeah. Quill Studios, I need ideas for drawing different hair. Whenever I'm stuck with hairstyles, I just look up hairstyles, like Google it. Especially when it comes to female hairs, because yeah, I'm not a girly girl, so I don't really have the experience with different hairstyles and stuff like that, but you know, you can look up all sorts of cool stuff on the internet, so Mr. Who at Mr. Gerudo, the manga is just boring and only about fighting. The first Dragon Ball has great fight and the anime and see. Mr. Gerudo, who cares about the plot? Fight to animation. Yeah. And I think the fight is good if it's helping the story. Like, I'm not interested in mindless fighting. I want that fight to be about something to do with the story or something to do with the character. And Hero Academia, for example, does that really well. And not just Hero Academia, but many sports series. Like, for example, Haikyuu. I know it's a sport, but every match is not really about, or not just about volleyball. But every match has some sort of character development as well. And I think that is incredible. Because even if you aren't interested in volleyball or the sport in Haikyuu, you will, or at least you can. I'm not saying you immediately will, because I know it's not for everyone, but still it's one of the best sports mangas and animes ever. And you will find something engaging, even if you don't like volleyball. But yeah, series where it's just the fight is only there for the sake of a fight. Thank you, no, I don't want that. Probably that's why I grew out of Dragon Ball. Like, I'm not interested in it anymore. Link Slicer? Any electric Saigami? Maybe, yeah. Kinda. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it won't be just about the three main elements. The Theater of Dreams. Do you ever feel demotivated due to complexity of a page you're drawing? Yeah, you know, sometimes when I know that there's a page that will take a lot of time, it will be very hard to draw, then yes, that page can frighten me. But you know, I have to face it. Like, I don't have the luxury to skip a page just because it's hard to draw. Like, sure, there are many times when I'm just procrastinating executing that page, but sooner or later I will have to get it out of the way. So, and you know, even if it's a very complex, a very complicated page to draw, I usually try to add something or find something in it that will make it be more exciting for me. Like, for example, if it's about a complex background, I'll be sure to put in elements that I will have fun with. Like, for example, let me show you actually. In the first chapter of Saigami, you can read the first 2 chapters online for free, so anyone can see this. And if you already read, you probably know this double page too well. Let's see. So there was this double page. I have to show it. Yeah, this double page. Like, it took me over 20 hours to draw this, and it was super complex. I was dreading to draw this because I knew that it would be a lot of work. But I had so much fun with it, you know, placing all the different dragons, the people. I'm not saying I came up with stories for every person on this square, but it was still fun to draw these background characters interacting with each other, designing a few different dragons, the kids playing in the background, the characters walking in the foreground. Here's a little girl with a dragon toy. Like, all these small details become part of the world, and those made me enjoy drawing even this super complex page. Like, if you can find these elements that are basically part of your world, it will be more interesting for the readers too, even though you probably never noticed that, you know, there's a toy dragon, or there's Reggie sitting there, who only will appear a few pages later. But, you know, all these small details, kind of like Easter eggs hunting, and I think if you can include stuff like that in these very, very complex pages, it will become way, way easier to work on these. So yeah. Mr. Gertrude. Fullmetal Alchemist didn't have a lot of fight, and people praise us the best anime. Damn right. Like the same. In Fullmetal Alchemist, when there was a fight, you know that fight has a meaning, it has a purpose, it was part of the story, and it wasn't just a fight for the sake of a fight. And yeah, I can only agree, Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the best anime and manga ever. It's very, very, very well written. Let's see, Zami9. I recently acquired the first volume of Saigami. I'm so hooked, but you should tell that Reggie to watch his language. Naughty. Sorry. Well, you know, it's part of his character, so, you know, there are many cases, especially with scanlations, where they include a lot of swearing or language that isn't necessarily the language or the speech pattern of the character. They just include for the sake of swearing or the sake of fun. In my case, if I include naughty words or swearing or anything, it's part of the character. Like, you know, it can tell a lot of the character, the way he or she talks. So I'm sorry about that. But I feel like in order to capture his personality the right way, I need to use all necessary tools in my possession. And language is one of those. Ficanzo, is that A4 paper you're drawing on? Yep, it's the letter A4 size manga paper. Guide for artists, draw the grown-up versions. Yeah, actually now I kind of have that on my mind, so that will be fun to draw. So, excuse me. So if you're interested, maybe I could do that in my next live stream, because admittedly, yeah, that could be fun. Like, I could design them, so that will be like a designing session in the live stream. I could even design a grown-up chibi gun. That could be fun too. So yeah, maybe I'll do that next time. If you're interested, I could totally do it. was I in the comments? There's so many. I need to catch up. Mr. Gerdu, that Mr. Who. But even though there are not a lot of fights, they still look dope and has the 3 layers of what a good fight has, and the story itself is interesting as F. Mr. Who, heck is the 60s, do I only make fairy tale? Then Neketsu fighting shonen. Mr. Who, what strategy? Strategy make good fight. Yeah, I can agree with that. Mr. Gerdude, the strategy types of fights are good. Mr. Who, and if the power of friendship is what it's called, good fight, you be wrong. Power of friendship is asshole. Yeah, like, power of friendship, yeah. Friendship, sure, it can be a motivation, like, I get that, and I agree with that, because I do have friends that I would do anything for. That doesn't make me stronger or anything. It braces my will, but that's it. Like, it won't give you a power boost or anything. Maybe a little bit of adrenaline, but that's it. So yeah. Normal comic junkie. Honestly, I try to ignore the whole power friendship stuff and just read the story for what it has. Yeah, that's what I did with Fairy Tail. Like, whenever there was a power friendship thing, I was like, yeah, okay, I still love the characters and I enjoy the story, most part of it. I have the same with fan service. So whenever there's fan service, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna turn my head and continue reading. Mr. Who, My Hero Academia got a fight, but don't feel there a plot progressed. Plot progression and turn into that status quo. I feel like every fight in My Hero Academia had character development. Actually, the YouTuber Giguk just made a video this week about this, and I could really agree with his points that, yeah, basically the fights in My Hero Academia are dull, but that's because My Hero Academia is not necessarily a shonen fight story. It's a character drama, and damn right, I can agree with him. Normal comic junkie. I've actually been keeping up with Black Clover since the first chapter because I avoid all the tropes and I just enjoy it. Yeah, that's fine. I know many enjoy Black Clover. It's a pretty simple manga and you can enjoy it because the hype, the art style, and I can totally see why people enjoy it. I'm just not one of them personally. Mr. Gerdude, emotional fights are the ones which is most memorable. Yeah, that's for sure. Sorry Tsubasa, I hate when I get here so late, lol. What comes first, random sketches or panels? I did ink another page. So in the first part of the live stream I did ink this page. Now I'm working on another one. So in this stream we didn't had any request or character sketches. I was just working on these pages because I have a deadline this weekend. So I have no choice. I have to work on my pages for Saturday AM. And I figured that, you know, it will be nice to try out something different in this stream. Of course, I'm not sure about the picture quality because, yeah, my lighting is not the best and I'm not sure how well this camera works. But I hope that you can see the majority of what I'm doing properly, even if the camera angle is not the best, admittedly. But yeah, at the moment that's all I can work with, so... My Hero Academia is emotional porn. Mr. Gerdude, One Piece is the most emotional one. Yeah, although I really love One Piece. I really enjoyed the first half, but to be honest, for me, it kind of lost its appeal. Like in the recent arc, I I didn't feel that same sort of I'm hooked on One Piece feeling that I used to feel before the time skip, I think. Like it might be just me, but yeah, maybe just my taste changed or whatever. But you know, when it's a new arc is happening and there are so many new characters and whatnot, and yeah, it just doesn't grab my interest that much anymore. I'm still reading it though, so but yeah, back in the days, oh my god, One Piece made me cry so many times. Like, I remember, I don't want to spoil anything, but you know that scene when they are saying goodbye to Going Mary? I used to watch that with my friends. We were all grown up, like we were grown up, sitting on the couch, and all of us was crying because it was just so sad. And it was a ship. It wasn't even a character, like not a character like that. But God, we were crying like kids. So definitely, One Piece is an emotional ride. Mr. Who at Mr. Church Dude, but One Piece didn't make me cringe than My Hero Academia when the character cry. Grimheim, that background shot was so beautiful. Maybe it has to do with the medieval inspired houses. It was so well done. Thank you. Well, yeah, I actually got the inspiration from a real location. I can't remember the name, but it's either in Switzerland or Germany or Austria, but somewhere in the area. Like, I like those houses, so I tried to capture something like that. And you know, even though Saigami doesn't really have a medieval setting, but I want to have a not too modern feeling in the world, so going with those houses was something I wanted to do. And you know, another location like Zeos is inspired by my hometown, and you know, we're a very, very old town, like over 1,000 years old. So the buildings and the locations have that sort of old feeling, not necessarily medieval, but there's just something that feels different. Mr. Gerdu, where you like what you like. Yep, exactly. Like, we can have arguments, but there will be always stuff that one people like, the other doesn't, and that's okay. Grimheim, is that the Nintendo DS team in the background? I have no idea. Could be. I don't know. Like, in the playlist I have going on, I do have the songs from Matthias, and the other songs are basically what I got from the royalty-free library of YouTube, so I have no idea what they do have there. Let's see, Quill Studios. Do you need a color artist, I guess? That's supposed to be artist, I guess. Well, I'm not sure about that. Like, I enjoy doing the coloring myself. There are some cases when someone else colors for me, like the base tones, and I do the shading and the other things. Or when it comes to Saturday AM, there were projects where we had a different artist coloring. So yeah. Ricardo Duran, Oh, grown-up Chibigon! Yeah. Funnily, I already had this design for him because when Saigami Map came out in Hungarian language, there was a girl who asked me to do a sketch of a grown-up Chibigon in her book. So yeah, I already gave that some thought. So that could be done easily. Of course, I told her too that it's not a canon version yet because there might be changes if the story requires me. So yeah. Anime fans, Origami, I was not here, but I'm back. Nice to see you back. Mr. George Dude, the fight between All For One and All Might was great, but not superficial. With that I mean, they only exchanged a few blows and United States of Smash. Yeah. But you know, I don't think it was about the quirks or powers or the fight itself. Like, it was more of a clash of ideologies and symbols. So I actually was quite content that it was a fast fight. There were no unnecessary elements, no we're staring at each other with the music in the background and we're standing there for 2 days and stuff like that and just talk. So I really enjoyed that. It was very well animated too, like it was nicely done. Zemi9, no, Chibigo shall never grow up, he's too cute. Yeah, and he's so much easier to draw like this. Like, drawing a grown-up dragon every scene, oh my god. We'll see what the future will bring for him. Anime fan, Eden Zero is out. Yeah, I know. It's been out since Wednesday, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure because I think it was already Thursday for me, the time Kodansha announced that now it's available. So I got it. I know the scanlations were around earlier, but you know, I want to support my favorite creators, so I'm not gonna be going for the scanlations. It's available in 5 languages simultaneously, the official release, so damn right I'm gonna go for that. The official release has way better quality to begin with. Link Slicer, any thoughts on Jump Force being announced at E3? It looks cool. Like, I know they now revealed Ichigo as well. He looks really good. Like, so far I think his character design looks the best in this 3D. Display. I'm not much of a gamer when it comes to fighting games, so I'm not super excited for that part of the game. Of course, you know, say if a friend would have it, I surely would be joining in for a few rounds, but I never was the type who just sat down and played hours and hours with fighting games. If there's a story for the game, then sure, yeah. Like, there was a fighting game I really enjoyed. It was for the PS1. It was Bloody Roar 2. And it had a story, and I really enjoyed the story of that. So I was playing the fights in order to get more info on the story. Because, you know, you could play in story mode, and that would reveal you more about the characters and their connections and stuff like that. So yeah, that I really enjoyed. But, you know, just the same with as manga. If it's just for the sake of the fight, then eh. I don't really enjoy that. Link Slicer, what if Saturday M had an arena-style fighting game like GeForce? Okay, admittedly, I would play with that for the sake of the fun and, you know, because it feels so close to home. I probably wouldn't spend time and wouldn't be the best in it, but yeah, that would be really cool. You know, we do have a video game in progress, so we'll see. We'll see what the future will bring. Anime fan. Who reads Apple Black? Me. I do. Of course. I mean, I read all of our series in Saturday AM. One Piece broke now. It's just maybe different than what it was, or at least for me. I don't know. And you know, there are still millions of people who think One Piece is the greatest, and they think it for a reason, because it's incredible. Like, it broke every record and stuff like that. So yeah. George do the things as our AM Force. Yeah, that would be cool. I think we could come up with a flashier name though. Anime fan, at first it was good. I love One Piece manga, Bleach also. Yeah, me too. But same as with One Piece, in the last arcs, I didn't enjoy Bleach that much. Like, sure, I enjoyed the parts with the main characters, but when it was fight and fight and fight between characters that I didn't even care about, like, yeah. Of course, that might be just me, because I know all of the characters had fans. Like, Mayuri had a great number of fans, and I just found him super cringy. And I never really enjoyed the fights with him. And heck, he had money. Mr. Church Dude. My favorite scenes, I still have my friends, and when Usopp wanted to protect the village. Oh yeah, that was nice. If I have to pick favorite scenes in One Piece, I think I would pick 3. 4? Maybe? No, let's just make it 3. One would be the You Are My Nakama part with the Arlong arc conclusion. The scene when they said goodbye to Vivi, and you know, they put up their hands with the X marks. That was incredible for me. And the Ennis Lobbies arc. I really enjoyed that, personally. So yeah, the arc in its whole, but obviously the scene where it's goodbye to Going Mary. Like I said, that was something else. Sora Tsubasa, if you had to make yourself a character, what would be your traits? Well, I'm small, so probably my character will be small too. You know, I think if I was an anime character, I would be your usual happy-go-lucky character, because usually I am. Like, super optimistic, always looking for the fun. So I guess that could be a trait. I probably would be like, you know, my friends are my power, like, I do everything for my friends mean everything. Apart from that, I don't know, like, if I had to pick a superpower or something, if it was, you know, like I said, if I was in Saigami, I probably would want to have water element as my own. But if it was something else, like just a random superpower, I think I would want to have something gravity-based. Like, you know, being able to fly, float, things like that, manipulate gravity. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna spoiler anything for Region Zero, but yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, and if I have to pick a weakness or something like that, I would be a character who gets lost easily. Like, I can't read a map, I just get confused with directions. So I surely could be like that. Let's see. Normal Comic Junkie and Ink Slicer. Funny you say that. Saturday AM is making a game kinda like Smash Bros. Cut back Comic Rumble. Yeah, exactly. It's in progress. I guess we will reveal some more info about it soonish, maybe. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. You know, it's going to be a free-to-play game. There's that. Anime fan, don't wanna spoil, but one of the character name is Shiki. Tsubasa, Rosario Vampire and Data Live was my first love, still is. But Welcome to the NHK gave me otherworldly feel. I've seen a few episodes of Rosario Vampire. Yeah, that was a fun series. I'm gonna catch up a bit with the comments. Mr. Who, at Mr. Jerdu, the United States of Smash and Use of Sin gave me the emotional cringe. We're not the same, so, you know. The Slicer at Normal Comic Junkie, that's why I said Arena Style Fighter. Yeah, like, our game won't look like Jump Force, so. The Slicer I already know about Rumble. Patrick Nagooka, will you on Saturday and be at Anime Expo? No, we won't be there. We will have some big announcements around the same time, so stay tuned. We will be attending different conventions later this year. Probably Chicago Wizard World Comic Con in August, and we'll see about the rest of the year. We will announce them for sure. We've been at Wizard World conventions all around the States. So yeah, we had a couple of conventions this year. and we'll see about the rest. Link Slicer, I think the reason me and a lot of other Bleach fans are excited about Ichigo's because his appearance is from Bleach Finals arc, which never had an anime or animation of any kind. Yeah, I can totally see that. And yeah, I think it's a shame that Bleach never had the anime finished. I know there are many series in the same shoes, but yeah, it still would have been cool. Zemi 9. I think I might get into Z Forever. People keep talking about it. My god. It is really good. I can only recommend it. And you know, if you want to check it out, you can read the latest issue of Saturday AM 89 for free. And that has Z Forever on the cover. It's super dope of a cover. And it has the latest installment of Z Forever. So go for it. I can only recommend it. It's one of my favorite series in Saturday AM. Tsubasa, where is your shirt from? It's a Saturday AM t-shirt for Comic Draw, which is made by Plask, one of our sponsors. It's actually the t-shirt I wore last year at the Crunchyroll Expo when I attended the convention with Saturday AM. It has the Saturday AM logo on the back. Of course, you can't see that, but yeah, I got this t-shirt from Frederick and from our sponsor, Plask. So I enjoy to wear this t-shirt because, yeah, it's just pretty cool. And you know, if you're interested in apparels like this, we do have now Saturday AM t-shirts, like all sorts of stuff. Some with logos, some with character art or panel art from our series. So we do have some really cool stuff. I plan to get some of those too, because I just love wearing geekish stuff, so I really want to get myself more Saturday AM related t-shirts. Sorry, Tsubasa, I wanna join Saturday AM, but I also wanna be published in Japan. I'm torso, I'm shy as well, I don't know. Heck. Well, as someone who's published in Saturday AM, I always say that, you know, Japan is just a country. Of course, it's the birth country of manga and anime and stuff like that, but it's still just a country. And the rest of the world still loves manga. And, you know, in Saturday AM, we're working hard to show that manga is for everyone, by everyone. Let's see. Guide for Artists, Gravity Like, the My Hero Academia girl, lol. Oh yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot about her right now, but yeah, I like her power. Like that's pretty cool. I actually would enjoy a power like that. If I could have any superpower, I definitely would want Doraemon's magical door. I mean, just instant teleport like Son Goku. I would save so much time and money. I could travel anywhere in the world. Oh yeah, I actually would enjoy that too. Like, teleportation will be super cool. Even if it's just, you know, short distance teleportations like Seno in Apple Black. That is really cool. Link Slicer at Sora. Just get to work, the internet is your friend. One Punch Man's creator was discovered online because he put his work out. Now his art is getting better and his stories are hilarious. Yeah, and you know, even if you're not aiming for Japan, that doesn't mean you can be published in Japan at the same time, because for example, Radiant by French creator Tolly Valente, he was published in his home country France, and later on, because his series became popular, it got published in Japan too, and now he's getting an anime. So, you know, it's I think it's narrow-sided to be focused only on Japan, especially if you're not in Japan, you don't speak the language, and you're not familiar with the culture. Then just don't. Aim for the world. And Japan is part of the world, so it's easier that way. Of course, it's never easy, but still. Ricardo Duran. I read the newest issue of Z Forever, but since I haven't read it from the beginning, I was really lost. Yeah, well, I understand that, especially since I think Z Forever has a complex story, so yeah, if you're missing some parts, it will be harder to follow. But yeah, you know, the first volume is available worldwide, so there's always that. Things like just build your portfolio. Zemi 9, I already read that issue. The chapter was so short that it flew over my head. Or I just buy volume 1. Yeah, I can recommend it. Like, I enjoyed volume 1. And it was really impressive to see the art improvement Mark Reed made through the volume, so I can only recommend it. It's highly inspiring. Thanks, Slicer. Thank you. Alright. So it is getting really late, so I think I will call it a night. Or at least for the stream, because I still will be working on the pages, but yeah, I don't want this stream to get too long. And I think we've been at it like, what time is it? Almost 3 hours. Like, we're getting closer to the 3-hour mark. And I managed to catch up with the comments. And yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break now and call it an end for this live stream. Let's see a comment. Sir Subasa, what do you think is important in manga? I love harem and romance, so I'm biased, but past that, no matter what, good world building, especially shonen, is important to me, like fairy tale. I mostly enjoy it for the story and the characters. So give me characters I can relate to, I can appreciate, I can love, then I will be hooked on, even if the story is somewhat weaker. Of course, there are cases when the story is so impressive that hooks me on. I personally like character-driven manga more. Things like Sir Jump Force also interest me because it takes place in a real-world location. I totally want to see American anime characters fight in the Times Square. Yeah, I can agree with that. Ricardo Duran, good night, Sunny. Thanks for the streaming and good luck with your deadlines. I can't talk anymore. Things like I want to know why they are in the real world. Marketing. For marketing reasons. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the stream. I am really grateful for everyone who joined me for this. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this was different. Next time, I probably will be switching back to my usual digital artwork. I might be working on those grown-up versions. So we'll see. I'm gonna announce the time for the next live stream here on this YouTube channel in the community section, so hit the notification bell if you want to be notified if I do anything, or you know, you can always just follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and be sure to check out Saturday AM. Like I said, the last issue is for free, and you will be able to read this installment of Saigami in the upcoming issue 90 of Saturday AM. So if you want to know what the heck is happening here, you will be able to read it in the next Saturday AM issue. So thank you very much for joining me, and I see you next time.